Will animals join us on the new earth? Here are 3 reasons why I believe the answer is yes. When God created this world, he designed it to be teeming with life. He said, "Let the waters swarm with fish and other life. Let the skies be filled with birds of every kind." So God created sea creatures and every living thing that scurries and swarms in the water, and every sort of bird, each producing offspring of the same kind. And God saw that it was good. Then God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply. Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply and fill the earth." Then God said, "Let the earth produce every sort of animal, each producing offspring of the same kind, livestock, small animals that scurry along the ground, and wild animals." There's a sense of abundant enjoyment in what God's doing here. And as someone who also enjoys the creative process, I can really relate to this. It must have been so much fun to design and create all of the animals of the world. And after he'd absolutely jam-packed the world with millions of species, so many species that science still hasn't actually discovered all of them, God looked at it, and with a sense of satisfaction and joy, he said that it was good. And if God made this world to be teeming with life and thought that that was good, then it's almost certain that the next life will be teeming with even more varieties of animal. The next world will not be less than this one in any way. It will be this one multiplied exponentially. And you know, I actually talked a little about this in the Revelation series, how we subconsciously tend to have a very low expectation of the next world. Sitting on clouds playing harps in a vegetative state, staring into the middle distance for all eternity, or sitting in a choir. But when you read the description of the new earth at the end of Revelation, you realize that the new world will be even more colourful, amazing, vibrant, tangible, and full of life than this one. And so that's reason number 1 why I believe that animals will be there. Reason number 2. Animals will be on the new earth because the Bible explicitly says that they'll be on the new earth. Isaiah says, "In that day the wolf and the lamb will live together. The leopard will lie down with the baby goat. The calf and the yearling will be safe with the lion, and a little child will lead them all." This passage tells us a couple of things. Firstly, it tells us that animals will be there, but that predation won't exist. There won't be any death between them. And secondly, this tells us that animals will still be under our authority and entrusted to our care, just the same as on this earth. So even a small child will be found leading leopards and lions and wolves. I think I remember one of my grandparents once saying that since animals can't read the Bible, they can't be saved. But I think the Bible is actually clear that the fate of animals actually depends on us. Their story is kind of tied in with our story. In other words, the Bible teaches that when Adam and Eve fell in Eden, all of creation fell along with them. When we broke, everything else broke. And so the Bible says that when we're restored, all of creation will be restored along with us. Paul says, against its will, all creation was subjected to God's curse. But with eager hope, the creation looks forward to the day when it will join God's children in glorious freedom from death and decay. So when God's children are released from death and decay, that is us, all of creation will be released too. Creation's redemption depends on our redemption. And since animals are part of creation, they will surely be a part of that process. So the Bible is clear that animals will exist on the new earth for the exact same reasons that they exist on this one. Because they bring colour and joy and love and help and fascination to our world. The Bible doesn't explicitly say that your own personal animals will be there, but I think there's enough evidence to be really quite hopeful about that. In the meantime, what is even more important is that you are on the new earth. Worry about animals as like a second priority, but make it a first priority to know Jesus personally. And if you want to know more about this topic, then please check out the Fuel Project's Revelation Guide, which is available on DVD or book.